Admittedly, I'm a little bit behind schedule in what I want to touch on with some videos because I'm trying to plan ahead for about a week and a half for a trip that I'm going on here, and amidst all of this, I must have missed some stuff that I either wanted to touch on or just did not get around to it. So in this one, I want to get to something that I've been trying to get to for the past couple of days, but did not end up getting it up any sooner. So in this one, we'll be talking a little bit about the Zombies comic issue number 6 that is coming out later this August, a little bit of the storyline implications, what we can see from the comic, and overall, what the covers then add up to, and, well, what this new mystery and reasoning behind the covers could mean. So, that said, let's jump right into it. Up on screen right now is the comic number 6 for Call of Duty Zombies, the cover art here with this, and this is the most recent image that we have here for anything. It comes out August 23rd of this year, so we have a long while to wait for this. 2.5 months if you want to put it that way. So there's a lot of speculation that can happen as to what this will include in terms of storyline implications within the comic, but perhaps some of the biggest things right now come from just the cover art. The primary focus of this is, of course, Primus Richtofen with 2 different colored eyes, we'll get to that in a second, as well as being surrounded by a bunch of different types of zombies that, if you guys have followed the comic books at all, you might recognize this scene because it's the exact same one from Zombies issue number 1, but the only difference is that it's not Primus Richtofen, or it is in a sense. He's actually zombified. Now this is where it immediately gets interesting because there's honestly so much that you could touch on with this, the comparisons and trying to contrast one or the other, but there's 2 main mysteries here that I see right off the bat, and one that not many people will touch on because I know a bunch of Zombies YouTubers have already discussed this, but I haven't seen as much discussion about the one so much as the other. The first one that you might have heard a lot about is the 2 different eye colors. That's something that really kind of indicates the power struggle that we've seen in the past between the control of Samantha, Maxis, or Richtofen, and sometimes, in the rare occasion, the Dark Aether, similar to the eye color of red within Mob of the Dead. But this is something that, right now, Richtofen has the blue and yellow colored eyes, which once again indicate 2 different sides of power, which may indicate one side or the other not winning, as the buried endings will in fact suggest. If you follow the canon storyline, the Maxis ending is the canon storyline ending that, in Buried, pretty much happens every single time if you really want to put it that way. Maxis wins, defeats Richtofen, and therefore that kind of split that you had in Black Ops 2 is not really as relevant as you may think or may have thought at the time. So where this comes down to now, the eye color, is where we get to that point where nobody really knows, because when you look at the sequence, yes, this is a zombified Richtofen, or Richtofen just before he was zombified, but at the very beginning, issue number 1, he has yellow eyes, which, according to canon and what we've seen thus far, signifies that perhaps Samantha is in control. But in this newest one, blue and yellow means that maybe a combination of both, maybe neither, but it doesn't have a clear and definitive explanation. But the next biggest thing that, once again, I haven't seen too many people pick up on just yet, or touch on really, is the fact that this is a completely different Richtofen than that of what we saw previously. So going back once again to the canon Buried storyline ending, Maxis wins, we end up getting zombified Richtofen, and Richtofen instructs the zombified Richtofen to go after the transit crew. That's what we see throughout the entire comics as they're trying to get all these things for Richtofen to secure a better tomorrow, as Richtofen puts it in multiple different locations in the storyline. So that zombified Richtofen is, in theory, the Ultimates version. By all indications of what we saw previously, that was still that storyline, and Origins is the real first introduction of Primus. Additionally, with different jump scares, different pieces that we see here throughout the storyline, and what we see in, say, the Giants, when we see the zombified Richtofen, that is once again indicated as the Ultimates version based upon the German Nazi attire that he's wearing. He's donned in his uniform that we've seen so classically on him that fits, once again, that World War II Nazi Germany clothing, but in this, he's donned in his Primus version of his attire. So the question now turns to, perhaps in my mind at least, why is there this split? Why is this difference of an entirely different version of Richtofen from an entirely different dimension and universe? What's the significance of Primus Richtofen jumping in on this rather than what we knew of previously, that being the Ultimates version? So I guess once again, perhaps time will tell with this one. Perhaps we get all these questions answered within Zombies comic number 6, once again, debuting in August of this year, and perhaps that happens, perhaps it doesn't, but and sure brings up some nice food for thought. I'm certainly very intrigued and very excited to see where this goes, so I'm definitely going to be picking up Zombies issue number 6. If you guys have not caught any of the other issues previously, definitely worth the read. They're about $2 to $3 depending on the issue that you end up getting, especially if you get it digitally. Definitely recommend that if you guys are looking to know a little bit more about the zombie storyline and the canon with that, and a little bit of the different backstory and pieces that never really got explained within the actual Zombies games. Definitely worth the read if you guys want to check it out. But that said, that's going to wrap it up. Drop your thoughts down there in the comment section down below. What do you think of this kind of stuff? Do you think you have any answers here as to why these comic issues are the way they are, why there's 2 different eye colors on the newest one, why Richtofen is the Primus version rather than the Ultimus version? There's so many things that I think that we can discuss here, so drop your thoughts down there in the comment section down below. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and if you guys did, make sure you drop a like down below, and of course, if you guys are new to the channel as well, make sure you guys subscribe to stay up to date with everything we have here regarding Zombies, Zombies Chronicles, Black Ops 3 multiplayer, Call of Duty World War II, Modern Warfare Mastered, all that good stuff. We got you covered here up on the channel. And finally, if you guys want to follow me over on Twitter, that's the best place to get connected with me outside of YouTube and practically live on Twitter. So if you guys want to strike up a conversation, ask me a question, whatever it may be, link is down there in the description below. But all that said and out of the way, hopefully you guys are having a fantastic day. Thank you so much for watching. Mine has been a cool Espresso. Take care and peace.